Thank you for staying with us on TVC Midday News. It's the International Day of the African Child. The theme for this year, education for all children in Africa. The time is now. First Lady of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, is celebrating every Nigerian child and all children in Africa. She urges every Nigerian child to have access to quality education with healthy reading culture integrated into the curricula of the educational system. She also encourages strengthening of book clubs across our nation in particular. Book clubs provide a wonderful opportunity for children to come together, share stories, and discuss ideas. And I have joining me Toby Ransom, an education project manager via Zoom from Lagos. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
So talk to us about the essence of this day and how we can, leverage on this opportunity to amplify the voices of the African child.
Okay, thank you very much. Just like the First Lady has rightly said, the importance of this day, which is education for all children in Africa, and the time is now. And, in her message, she clearly highlighted the importance for access to quality education. And for us to achieve quality education, it is important to inculcate healthy reading habits. And I'll just like to, just point out some of the key things that, we all can do in our different walks of life, and things that we do, and also working closely with our government. For us to have healthy reading, we have to see or push for the improvement of foundational literacy, which improves reading in children. And so what does that mean, or how can we do that? First, just like the First Lady rightly mentioned, increasing access to quality books for children. These books need to be books that they're sizable, this according to their size, so not bulky books, especially for younger children, books that is in their language that they can understand, and books that are very much accessible. She also talked about, creating avenues in the classroom, in the community, such as book clubs. So that looks at increasing the time for reading. One of the things that we see is that a lot of schools, both government and private, may not necessarily give attention to reading on its own. And so we need to see an increase in that, both in schools and also at the community level. Then we also we need to have an improvement in the quality of our teachers, which comes to the issue of teacher professional development. That can be through teacher training, continuous coaching and mentoring, and different opportunities, that we can identify. Of course, we have a key area of working with the school leadership, our government partners, and communities. For a child to learn how to read and for a child to enjoy reading, what is done in the classroom needs to be extended also in the community.
And this is coming at a time where the African child is faced with several realities. Apart from the need to instill the reading culture, there are several realities faced in the African child, such as political instability in some regions, poverty, lack of access to clean water. How can we address some of these challenges?
Yeah, so I was just going into that because for a child to be able to read, and not just read, to also gain skills such as numeracy and life skills in the classroom, they need to feel safe, right? And the issue of safety is what we are facing right now, not just in Nigeria, but globally. So like you rightly mentioned, poverty, insecurity, access to water. And at this point, we need to work closely with both parents and communities. So, and also the government. For example, in Nigeria, we know that there are policies that looks at the issue of safety and security of children. How can we work with our government to see that these policies are actually being implemented at the school level? So you have something as simple as a safeguarding action plan being developed at school level, and then working with both parents and then teachers and head teachers to see that children are safeguarded. And then also going back to, practices that we used to have of ensuring we have access to clean water. So boiling water, ensuring we go back to issues of hand washing and things like that, just bringing it back. But basically, for us to ensure that, our children are actually safe and then we're able to surmount some of these challenges, we need to work with everyone. So you have the place of the government, you have a place of parents, you have a place of teachers and head teachers, and we just need to work together to see that, we actually come against some of these challenges.
And how do we, address some of the concerns that have been raised about the need to balance modernization and also maintaining some of our cultures and traditions, some of, the values that we have in our culture as Africans, Nigerians to be particular. How do we maintain the rights of the African child while also maintaining our culture despite modernization?
Yeah, thank you very much. The good thing is that I think the first place for us is to look at these policies and then contextualize them. So, for example, we have the Child Rights Act, right? And we know that some of the states in Nigeria have actually looked at it and contextualized it. So that is very important. So it is not just about looking at what is being done globally, but then also seeing how it reflects or how it is suitable to our own context. And then the way Nigeria runs is that every state has the right to actually look at the different policies and contextualize them. That is one. And then also our curriculum, also like our Nigerian curriculum, ensures that we still maintain the themes around our culture and things like that. It is important that when we're looking at best practices around the world, we're also looking at it through the lens of our culture. And this can be done not just at the federal level, but also at the state level with our partners, with our state partners. And then also we have the Nigerian policy on language that was just that was just approved by NERDC and Federal Ministry of Education. That is also an important tool, and that looks at the opportunity to teach children in the language that they understand. So that could be their mother tongue or the language in common environment. So these are ways that we can actually preserve our culture, while still providing for the rights of children.
Education Projects Manager, Toby Ransomed. Good to have you join us on the news at this time.
Thank you very much.
Moving on, the Minister of the